is enough, and it's time for a change!
Nothing compares to a quiet evening alone. Just the 1, 2. I was just counting on that never happened. I guess I'm dreaming again. Let's be more than this.
Hey, what's up everybody? gilbertblaze here, back with another video. So I wanted to review Destination X 2011. First things first, I'm actually reviewing a TNA pay-per-view. Shocker. But even more shock, this is the first TNA pay-per-view I've ever ordered. I can't believe it. Like, when I actually thought about it, I'm like, wow, I've never ordered a TNA pay-per-view before. Even through the heyday of 2005, and even through all the great views they had when like Awesome Kong and Gail Kim was going at it, I never ordered any of those pay-per-views. So I saw this card on paper, like I was talking about in the preview, and I thought to myself, you know what? It looks so good that I have to order this. And I kept debating all day, should I order this? But then I just got convinced, you know what? I need to order it. So let's talk about the first match. Kazarian versus Samoa Joe. Now I thought this was probably a great first match to have to, you know, open up the show, get people into the flow of things. But I gotta say this, I am not a Samoa Joe fan. I used to be a few years ago, but the guy that you see now is just completely out of shape. He's been very slow in the ring, and his attitude sucks. Now I know a lot of people will say he's getting shitted on by the TNA management. It's been going on for years now, and yes, it's true. They have mistreated him. They treated him like shit, and maybe because of that, he feels like, fuck it, because, I mean, I don't blame him, but then in a sense, it's like, he's got this attitude in his face where, like, I don't give a fuck anymore, and that's sad. It's sad to watch, because he actually re-signed with TNA, and a lot of people are saying, why would he do that if he knew he was going to get mistreated? Then again, you gotta think, does WWE want Joe? No. If he goes to ROH or New Japan or any other promotion, will he get paid the same money he'll get getting paid doing TNA? Probably not. TNA probably offers him a decent amount of money, and he has a family to support, so I guess he's going to put up with the bullshit. But it just sucks to see him the way he is, because to me, I'm just not feeling him anymore. I don't got a good vibe off of him. So, going to the match. Joe completely dominated this match, and it was like a very simple formula. Like, once I saw him dominating, I just knew he was not going to win this match. And with the recent, I guess, storyline, he's been losing lately. I mean, he freaking jobbed to Devon Dudley. Like, seriously, Devon? I mean, after he lost to him, I'm like thinking, okay, wow, they're just fucking with him big time. So, of course, Kazarian took a beating during the match, and it was an excellent match. It was a good, decent match. It was solid for what it was, and Kazarian got the pin on Joe. So on to the second match, and I might not get this in order, but we had a tag match, Generation Me against Eric Young and Shark Boy. Now, I don't know why the hell is Eric Young and Shark Boy in a damn pay-per-view match. I mean, that was fucking pathetic. I hated it. I absolutely hated this match, because Generation Me got completely fucked and just trashed in this match. They jobbed to these idiots. I mean, fucking Eric Young has been in TNA for so long, and he's a fucking joke. Like, I don't understand why they keep this guy on the payroll, why they don't get rid of this dude. And Shark Boy just came out of nowhere. I mean, seriously, it's just stupid. Generation Me got completely wasted in this fucking match. It pissed me off. So that's that. Next, you have Douglas Williams Open Challenge, and I'm thinking to myself, it's got to be Petey Williams. Petey Williams would be great. We got to see Petey Williams back. He was such a big part of the X Division, and no, we get some John Morrison wannabe dude from England. And you know what? I feel bad. I can't even remember the guy's name. I think it's Mark something. I can't even remember the dude's name. That's how unforgettable he was. He was sloppy in the fucking ring. He just looked like he was nervous, and I felt bad for the kid. But seriously, supposedly Dixie Carter saw him on the overseas trip they had, and she was really impressed with him, and she wanted to sign him. He showed me nothing in this match. Douglas Williams went over. it was just a bullshit. So like the first 3 matches, right there, I was thinking to myself, did I make a mistake and fucking waste $35 on this? But I knew the later matches would be worth the money, and it definitely was. So let's get on to the next match. You had, for the number 1 contendership for the X Division title, Ultimate X match with Shannon Moore, Robbie E, Amazing Red, and Alex Shelley. And you know, I just knew Alex Shelley had to win this match, and the right person won this match. It wasn't a spectacular Ultimate X. We've seen better in the past. I'm not big on Robbie E. At first, I thought, okay, the gimmick was kind of cool, but seriously, he did not deserve to be in this match at all. I don't care. Shannon Moore, Amazing Red, yes, those 2 deserve to be in the match. They did their little spots. Amazing Red took a fucking beating in this match, and I think he did the most spots, and he really like put his body on the line through this match a lot. And you know, kudos to him. But I knew Alex Shelley would go over, and he did. He won. He's the veteran of the X Division, like Ultimate X matches, and once again he won. And the great thing after the match, you saw, you know, Chris Sabin come down the aisle, and for a split second, I thought maybe Chris Sabin might turn on him and fucking beat his ass. But of course, it didn't happen because Sabin's still injured. But Alex Shelley is the new number 1 contender for the X Division title. So on to the X not Ultimate X, but so the X Division title match itself, Abyss versus Brian Kendrick. Now, I've liked the build up to this match. I thought it's been really good. You know, the whole thing with Immortal getting rid of the X Division and Abyss wanting to just freaking annihilate the X Division, that was all on the line here. And Kendrick was like the savior. He was like the guy that basically had to be the golden boy to save the division. Now, the match itself was decent. It wasn't a bad match. I mean, Kendrick took a beating. Abyss was busted open, and you know, typical Abyss getting bloody always. And you know, Kendrick fought his ass off. He fought his ass off, and I was like kind of debating with a YouTuber on Twitter about the match because he felt like the match was overbooked. He didn't like it. A certain YouTuber, LV, so he thought the match was overbooked, but I thought the match was booked perfectly because it was very obvious what they were doing. You know, Eric Bischoff comes out first, then the rest of Immortal comes out, kicks Brian Kendrick's ass. Then you got all the X Division stars coming out to help Brian Kendrick. This had to happen because it was a war between Immortal and the X Division. So they had to have a climax, and the climax was the X Division stars took back their fucking division and got rid of fucking Abyss and Immortal and Eric Bischoff to get them out their fucking division. So I thought it was perfectly done, and it was obvious, it was very obvious that was going to happen. But I'm happy Brian Kendrick went over. He's the new X Division champion. Good for him. Kudos to him. I've always been a Kendrick fan, even though he's like very wishy-washy and like really fucked up in the head sometimes in real life. So it's hard to like really be back into him. But as a performer, I've always liked him as a performer and a wrestler. So Kendrick is the new X Division champion, and that means also when you saw Alex Shelley become the number 1 contender, those two are going to have a really good match, and I can't wait to see it. But I hope Kendrick holds on the title for a couple of months. He deserves it, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Abyss, because the whole thing with him reading the book and the Sun Tzu and all that Art of War shit, like we'll see where that goes with there. But it seems like Immortal might be starting to crumble and break up a little bit. So next you had RVD versus Jerry Lynn, and this was like the good old match of like the past old rivalry. You know, I don't think they wrestled each other in 10 years. I might quote me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's been 10 years since the last time they wrestled each other. So, you know, Jerry Lynn is not under contract with TNA. RVD is, so you kind of figured that RVD would go over in this match. But it was a really physical match. It was solid. It could have been a lot better, but I was happy with what I saw. RVD was busted open in this match. RVD always knows how to take a beating. He likes to take a beating. He likes to sell moves. He likes to oversell moves. He likes to get his ass beat. And so he did take a great beating. It was a great spot where he did, Lynn did a sunset flip off the top rope, and RVD hit the back of his head on the chair. that was hot. That was great to watch. And then RVD, turned it around and 5-star frog splash, and he won the match. It was a great match to watch. So I was happy with the outcome, and they both guys bust their ass in that match. So next you had, for the Impact Wrestling contract, Low Key versus Jack Evans versus Zeman Ion versus Austin Aries. This match from start to finish kicked fucking ass. This is the match that the X Division is all about. It's all about unpredictable moves, great spots, fucking fast-paced action. We got that from start to finish. It was great, and of course, the right person won. And it was hard because I am a low-key fan. I am a Jack Evans fan, but I'm an even bigger Austin Aries mark. I love Austin Aries, and the man is back in TNA, and I'm happy. I hope they do good things with him. He had a fucking great showing. He hit Low Key with a brainbuster to end the match, but all those guys worked their ass off. And the great thing was the crowd was chanting, "Sign them all, sign them all, sign them all." And you better sign all these guys, because if they want to rebuild the X Division, revamp the X Division, put all these guys in a fucking X Division, because they fucking kicked ass. And now you have the main event, AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. These two guys have had classic matches all throughout the years. This wasn't their best match, but this was a very physical match. It was a very intense match. It was a very well wrestled match, and I thought both guys told a great story. And AJ Styles came out on top. I wanted Daniels to win really bad. It would have been great for him, but for some reason they decided to put AJ over because he is their golden boy in a sense. But it was a solid match. But one thing that pissed me off was, before AJ did the spinal tap, the fans was already chanting spinal tap, spinal tap. Like, I hate that. I hate when the fans just chant moves before the wrestler does the move, because it's like, stop being like, I know that they're marking out and all, but to me that kind of is annoying sometimes. I don't like to hear that. But AJ hits the spinal tap and gets the 1-2-3 on Daniels. It was a very great, intense battle. I think over 25 minutes they were going at it, so it was really fucking good. And overall, I thought the pay-per-view was decent. It wasn't spectacular, but it was decent and it was good. And I thought, in the end of the things, it was worth my $35. It was worth it. So TNA Destination X, I would recommend for people to watch. It was really good. And if you notice, my hat I'm wearing from my MMA jobber bitch ass buddy Fight Dog got me. Yes, I am a pro wrestling mark. So that's my TNA review for Destination X. Talk to y'all later. Peace.